Welcome back, and we are highly elated to know that you're confidently sauntering with us right here on NTV tonight. The studio interview I promised on the Uganda Certificate of Education examination results is here. Now the UCE examination results for 2023 showed a drop of 0.5% in the failure rate. To digest the outcome and the implications of the results, we are joined by Dr. Vianney, Mitana of JM Education and Research Center, and he's also the co-lead of Regional Education and Learning Initiative. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Indeed, first things first, UNEB is describing the general performance in these exams as significantly better than the last two previous years, 2022-2021. The viewer who is watching NTV tonight right now is wondering, what does this mean about the quality of Uganda's education system or sector going forward?
Thank you so much. According to me, it is not a time to rejoice that actually there is an improvement. The question we need to raise as stakeholders in education is, what value addition are we making?
So it's not about the good grades.
It is not about the good grades.
Indeed.
What value addition are we making to these learners?
Expand further.
For example, a child, I can explain it in two ways. One, a child was admitted with aggregate 4 at the entry in S1 and has gotten second grade, or 12, or 20, is still in first grade. But actually, it maybe came with a D1 mathematics and has a 5 in mathematics at the end of the cycle at senior 4. Is this a value addition or subtraction?
It's a subtraction, of course.
Now, when you look at the jubilations today, you see people are celebrating first grade.
So the high grades we are seeing right now don't necessarily mean that these individuals will be a success at some stage when they grow up.
It doesn't mean that, because we need to look also at other values. We need to look at the what we can call the learning outcomes in totality. Are these people really having the agency, the empowerment, the resilience they need to pass through, to go through life?
The life skills.
The life skills. This, what we call the soft skills. When you look at me, for example, you cannot tell whether I got first grade or second grade.
Indeed.
But as I talk, you can see that, okay, this person either is empty-headed or has some substance.
Indeed.
And I think for me, this is what we need to be looking at. The schools need to have, other things, like, for example, they should have the clubs. Those other activities that actually can impart some values, some skills, which cannot just be taught theoretically in a class.
Ideally impart life skills or soft skills rather than focusing on high grades.
Exactly.
So away from that, about 2,774 candidates actually did register for the 2023 UCE exams, but they failed to sit for the same papers. And this keeps happening time and again. We'd like to know from you, the horse's mouth, what is the cause of this? And how can it be stopped? It is caused by a number of factors, and it is hard really to say maybe the blame is this, maybe the failure is from this. But we need to, again, I need to repeat what I said last time when I was here, that it takes a village to raise a child. Indeed.
There are these 3 cooking stones. When you remove one, the saucepan definitely is going to crumble and fall, and definitely you are not going to cook the food. But these days we are having, we are beginning to see the whole struggle either being left to the teachers to handle these children, but we forget where they come from. They come from families. They come from communities. So
communities shouldn't leave the role of educating learners to the schools and the parents, but even the community should get involved.
Look, by the way, a child...
You see a young man going astray, he's not going to school, he's going to a video hall.
Yes.
You reprimand him on behalf of the parent.
Remember, this child is in school for maximum of about 18 years.
Indeed.
If more. But then he's going to live the rest of his life, her life, in the community, in families. But no, if we say the work is for the school, then we are actually like having a time bomb. These children are going to come back to the communities and terrorize us. Because, first of all, they are not prepared to live in the communities. By the way, that's why when these graduates, when people graduate from universities, They are not fit to live in the communities. They are rushing towards urban centers to live in towns because they are used to staying in towns, in boarding schools. And so they are not prepared to live in the communities. We need to change this.
So these 2,774 students didn't sit for the exams, but then we have 14,879 who failed. Is this a cause for worry? And who is to blame? Exactly. Is it the schools? Is it the parents? Is it the guardians? Or nobody at all, Dr. Vianney?
Again, we need to come back to the round table and analyze what is my role as a teacher? What is my role as a parent? What is the role of the government? What is the role of the community? For example, when you go to some of the, these schools, you find actually some of the students do not have meals. They study from morning up to evening without a meal. Now the question is, should we blame the government because is the government the one to feed the children? What are the parents doing? But also, are the parents sensitized enough? Are they involved in the planning of the school as parents? Are they brought on board to understand what their role is?
Now, Dr. Vianney, these 14,879 only failed. But I do have a learner who committed suicide because this learner couldn't get 4 aggregates in PLE. We do have this video. Let's play the video, then you respond to it.
Thank you.
Dear candidates, please celebrate whatever results you have obtained. You worked tirelessly for those grades. You still have a bright future. I'm appealing to you not to harm yourselves or terminate your precious God-given life because of bad grades.
Dr. Vianney, there you have it. This crazy hype about high grades is actually causing a lot of distress. Our learners are committing suicide. This is not the only story. Fort Portal, Western Uganda, these stories have been happening. Tell us, why is this focus on high grades and not imparting life skill to our learners? And what do you make of this?
For me, it is actually the worst cancer we are having in the education system, where people are jubilating because of grades. And saying that somebody who has got second grade, third grade, fourth grade has not passed.
It's not true.
This is the reason when you go through, our economy, for example, we again to ask ourselves, we are celebrating grades, but the people contributing to our economy, are they really, the products of first grade? Are they the products of, first-class degrees? Absolutely no. We need to look at education in totality.
Indeed.
What values are we getting? But also not to say that if I have not got first grade, I have not passed.
So because meaning even the 14,000 that failed, even the 2,000 that didn't sit for the exams, we can save them still.
We can still save them because there are other avenues that we can actually help them to go through life, acquire other skills, because life is not about getting a first grade or second grade.
Time is first spent, and would like to hear more from you, Dr. Vianney, because you come with a wealth of information, especially on the education sector. We shall call on you some other time to expand more on these issues, maybe 30 minutes or more for the public or the populace right there. Thank you so much for coming through.
You're most welcome.
Indeed. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Indeed. And indeed, you're still watching NTV Tonight. We're going to be moving